Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be thrifty. I've got the trusty scrap pot with some bits and bobs in there. I've also got a handful of little beads and some components left over from a recent project. So I really wanted to see what I can make with the literal offcuts from other pieces of jewellery. Let's head down to the board and take a closer look. Recently I was working on a project and I needed just short headpins, but I only had long headpins. And so I ended up with these headpin offcuts. Now I imagine the gauge of the wire is around about a 0.7, but these little inch-long bits of metal I was kind of loath to throw away. I've also got a scrap length of some tiger tail or beading thread to work with. So I think we can probably make some earrings with these, so we're going to explore that idea together now. I've got an idea in mind, so we're going to just crack on and see if we can make something to work with. So each of these is probably around about an inch in length, and I reckon it's around about a 0.7 gauge wire. So I'm going to use the very end of my round nose pliers to start bringing this round in a circular form. But I'm going to stop just before I complete that circle and switch over to my standard flat pliers. So these are bent chain nose pliers. They have a tapered tip and two flat surfaces. I'm then going to work on creating a spiral that doesn't go all the way to the end, because otherwise you won't be able to do anything with it. I'm going to stop about a 1/4 of an inch from one end, about 5 or 6 millimeters, and then I'm going to grip across that piece of wire and bring it away so it looks like a little lollipop shape, like so. I'm going to then switch to my memory wire finishing pliers. You could continue with your round nose pliers if you prefer, and I'm just going to turn a very small loop on the end here and just draw that around. Now if that's not quite enough wire, you can pinch that up. Can you see there's a little gap just there? So I'm going to just bend that over a little bit and pinch it into position. So what we have is a tiny spiral with a little loop at the top. It's just a simple loop. I'm going to make a couple of those and then we'll move on to the next step of this thrifty scrap earring project. I have a short length of beading thread. This is probably 0.38 of a millimetre and it's no more than 5 inches in length. So what I'm going to do is I have these beautiful 3 millimetre faceted random beads, and this is from a project I worked on with Fleur at Relax and Craft. So if you have a handful of these beads left over from your Relax and Craft box, you can join me in creating this project. However, if you are not a member yet, go and have a look, see what you think. It's a fantastic way to introduce yourself to new jewellery making media. So I've got a handful of beads ready to go. What I'm going to do is start to thread them on. Now nobody needs to see me thread loads of beads on. So what I will do is I'll thread on 5 of these beautiful random gemstones, and again they're 3 millimetre faceted rounds, and then I'll start adding on the teeny tiny charms we've made together. So I've added on 5 of those beads, followed by a charm, followed by a bead, another charm, a bead, another charm, and then 5 more beads. And I'm just going to allow that beading thread or beading wire to just loop round to make a really beautiful shape. Now when you're making paired earrings, you do need to make sure that the loop you're creating is going to be the same size for both of them. So the next thing we're going to do is to add on a crimp, and luckily for me I had a handful of crimps available to me. These are teeny tiny crimps, so please bear with me while I slide that down one end and then the other end of this beading thread and just bring those 2 pieces together. Now beading thread can get kinked, and we want it to be nice and smooth and fall in this beautiful natural pear drop shape. So I'm going to just bring that over the top of the demonstration piece I just made a moment ago and get that to sit in exactly the same place. Once it's going to be sitting where you need it to, and I'm just going to grip that with my fingernail to make it behave. So that needs to go just a little bit lower down. You can use your preferred method for crimping. So I'm going to hold it on the underside now. You can use crimping pliers, you can use flat pliers, whatever works for you. I'm not terribly good with crimping pliers, so I tend to give it a bit of a smidge first and then take it into the big jaws to make that C shape and then crimp it on over. I'll be honest with you, until I got these Xuron, and no, they're not paying me crimping pliers, I could never use crimping pliers. These are amazing. So once that's sitting in position, what we're going to do is add on one more of those little beads. Now, if your beads are really, really teeny tiny, you may not be able to get both pieces of thread through. If you can't, just make sure that your crimp is really, really tight. If you can, absolutely fantastic. It enables us to crimp again at the top. So I'm going to add that little bead on, and then we'll move on. So I managed to get both pieces of beading thread through. What I'm going to do here is pull sharply away on the short length and just trim that away carefully. Now when I bring my cutters into position, I make sure that I don't also trim the bit I'm trying to keep, and then that can go into the actual scrap pot, the scrap pot if you like. I'm then going to add in one more little crimp all the way over the top, and then turn the wire round and back through. If you're lucky enough to be able to get that through that bead one more time, I'm not even going to try. But if you are, then you can post that through before you trim away on the far side. So again, when you're making paired earrings, you will want to try and ensure that these look as similar as possible. So I'm going to just bring that loop down until it sits where I need it to. What I do want to do is allow the tiniest bit of space between that crimp and the bead, which will enable me to then add on my crimp cover. Now, if you don't get on with crimping pliers, then you can simply squish them flat with your standard flat facing pliers. These again are my bent chain nose pliers, and just give that a little bit of a squish. You may find that you need to use a slightly larger crimp cover. I'm going to pull very sharply back to put a kink in that beading thread, or beading wire if you prefer, before I bring my cutters in and trim away. You do need to make sure that your crimps are fully sealed. Your other option, of course, is to add 2 crimps either side of the bead, and then you've got belt and braces, as it were. You've got that extra security. So I'm just going to make sure that these are nice and secure before I move on and add in my next crimp cover, which will finish off this design. So let's give that a squish. So when I'm working with crimp covers, you can use your beautiful crimp finishing pliers or crimping pliers. I'm just going to use the tips of my bent chain nose pliers and just take a couple of moments to get that to close up really neatly. So I tend to go from one side and then from the other side, and then you can get that nice and smooth and looking like a bead. So I'll add the crimp cover on the far side, and then all that remains is to add in your chosen type of earring finding. Well, thanks so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed the tutorial for the Thrifty Scrap Earrings. That's really actually quite difficult to say. If you have any requests for future projects, then do let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and drop me a hype. It does help me to be seen by the wider YouTube community. Have the most amazing day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.